All right, if you're watching this, that means you're trying to put a pit in an object. Most what this tutorial is going to cover is the Link Gerudo armor here. You see how right here, the bit of clothing tucks into the ring. The way I decided to do this was to have a snap inset into the ring and then a snap in the piece of clothing, and then they would click together like that. The tricky part is, how do we put the pit in the ring? This ring here is sized for my hand, or it's sized to be the minimum amount it can, because if you make this ring any smaller, my snaps were 10 millimeter diameter. So if I were to make this any smaller, I would run out of space. I would not be able to fit that 10 millimeter diameter snap in there. So if you want to make this ring a different size, one thing you have to look out for is that if I want to scale this ring up, if I want to say make it, I don't know, we'll say 150% of its size, well, that also makes this hole bigger. So now this hole won't fit the same snap as it did before. Which is really annoying. So what we need to do is find a way to the adjust the size of the ring while keeping the size of the hole constant. Um, which is very difficult and beyond my skill set. I don't even know if it's possible. So instead, I'm just going to show you how to make it from scratch so that you can make any size ring with any size hole or pit. So the software I use for this is called Fusion 360. It's pretty neato. What you want to do is go ahead and open the, where to go? Here we go. Open a step file that contains, I'm going to go ahead and close this since I don't need it anymore. A step file that contains this nice unedited ring. Let's see here. And so, now that we've got it, what you want to do is to go ahead and go over here to bodies, click on it, go up here to modify scale, pick the scale you want it, the amount of you want to change it by. Let's say I wanted to make this ring for someone with smaller fingers than myself. I want to make it 0.75 amount of, or actually, you know what? I'm going to make it for someone with bigger fingers than myself. I'm awfully indecisive. Okay, there we go. 1.5. Boom. There you go. It'll chug for a moment, and now we have a bigger ring. So now, how do we put the same hole in this guy? We want to go up to Create Sketch, pick a plane. You want one that is parallel with the vertical surface of the ring. So either of these two would work nicely. I'm going to pick this one. Go ahead up here to Center Diameter Circle. Click it once. Click anywhere. It doesn't matter. If you just click, yeah. If you just click and drag a little bit, you can specify it here, and then you can actually type on the keyboard, which is a lot easier. So I'm going to do that. Let's see here. Let's say I want this ring, since just like before, it's a 10 millimeter snap. Your snaps might be different, but I'm going to make it for a 10 millimeter snap. And then now we have this guy here. We're going to press M to move it. Grab this arrow. Oop, I said grab this, drag it over. Keep in mind, I don't know what I'm doing with 3D modeling. I am a complete novice, and I am not a professional, so I'm not going to be making sure this is like super accurate. I'm just going to kind of be eyeballing it and probably using some very stupid methods. But you know what? This thing is only like a few millimeters wide, and it's on the inside. No one's going to see. No one's going to know. Whatever. So I'm going to move it so that the top part of the ring, the top part of this two-dimensional circle is just barely kissing the, whatchamacallit, the side of the ring. It's not exactly touching, but like it's pretty close. Whatever, who cares? I am a perfectionist, but we'll suppress that. So we'll go ahead and hit enter. And then we want to right click on it, hit extrude. Make sure you want this blue extrude sometimes if you click on the like the border, sometimes there'll be an option for a blue extrude and an orange extrude. The orange one won't give you the options that you need, so you want the blue one. So we type profile start while one side, that looks good. You can see here by this arrow that this extrude is going to give it a depth, but in the wrong direction. We want it to go into the ring. We can do that easy enough with by just putting in a negative value. Let's say I want to make this ring. From looking up my specifications of my snaps online, I know that my snaps are 3 millimeters in thickness, in depth. I don't know the difference. I mean, I do. I just don't know which one's right here. So I'm going to give it 3 millimeters for the snaps, and you'll see it puts a preview of how it's going to cut that out. And then let's say we want 0.5 millimeter to give us room for glue. It'll get a little bit bigger. And you can, at this point, you can drag around and see how it's going to stack up against the outside of your ring. You want to make sure it's not breaking through the surface like this. Oh, I should probably specify. If you don't know how to move around in Fusion 360, you can use just the middle mouse to pan, and then you can use Shift plus middle mouse to rotate your view like that. Anyways, back to this. So we'll make sure we hit cut here. There's several different options. We want cut. And if we hit OK, it will... What the heck? Okay, I don't know why I did that. We will try again. We'll Control Z, back her on up. Oh, I think I ran into this issue before. It was because this was actually touching the ring body. I don't know why that would be an issue, but apparently it is. So we'll just drag it out just a little bit. There we go. There we go. Okay. Let's try this again. So right click, what the heck? Right click, extrude, profile plane distance, negative 3.5 millimeters, cut, okay. There we go. And you can see that it cut almost all of the circle out. The issue is that it did not cut out these little bits at the side, because our circle is not lined up perfectly. We're trying to line up a flat surface with a curved surface. Try this with something in the real world. You'll find there's no way for the flat surface to touch all of the curved surface at the same time. Understandably. But that's okay. This is super easy to fix. We just got to click our sketch again. Where's our sketches? We should have it. This is very strange. I do not know where it went. Sketches. Move copy? Sure. Is this moving the cavity? No way. 1 second. I'm not sure why this is happening like this. Here we go. All right. Little arrow. There it is. So after we did this operation and hit our sketch, we want to be able to re-see it. Select it again. Right click. Why can we not select our sketch, please? I would like to do that very much. Okay, sketch. Well, then we'll go back to extrude. I'm not sure what extrude is here. Draft, press pull, appearance. Okay, we'll try something else. Okay, so we will move it out away from the rest of the thing a little bit. And that should... sketch. Where is it? I apologize for the delay. I won't judge you if you want to put this video on 2x speed. Visibility. Oh! Here's our issue. Okay. So we were toggling the visibility of this, but that doesn't matter because the visibility of the entire group was overriding that. So we make sure that both this is visible and this is visible. And now we have our sketch back. I'm going to put it back into its original location where it was. I can't do that. Whatever. Okay. Well, the process is the same. We just extrude. Now, and we'll say -3. And so now that we've moved our sketch back and then redone that same cut operation, we will remove those little tiny parts those little tiny thin parts that we missed before. If you want, you could, if you had left the sketch where it was, you could have just said cut coming out this way instead, and it would have done the same thing. Um, yeah, if you had the sketch coming this way, you'll figure it out. And then make sure we hit cut again. I'm gonna have to put this back to negative for my exact use case. And then, okay, cool. And then we should be done. Now we have a ring with the size we want, with the size of hole we want, and we are all set to save it. Well, to save it, and then once it's saved, we can export it as a step or a STL. Or really, you don't have to save it, but if you don't save it as first, you can only export as a step. You won't be able to export as an STL. Um, so, yeah, you can deal with that. Yeah, so once you save and export as an STL, you'll be all set to 3D print. Hope this tutorial serves you well.